Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libra, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. To your for your key to the week this week, you've got the Judgment card, right? So this could be a blast from the past, quite literally as well. Especially interesting that this aligns with your full moon message, which we will get to at the end of the read. Now, that being said, not only is this a blast from the past, but it also ushers in a big change in some way, shape or form. The difference between this and say the Tower in terms of change is that the Judgment card is change that you see coming. It's reaping the rewards or seeing the results of something. And this could be a moment at which you get to sort of have a final assessment. So this week you could be putting the finishing touches on something. You could be completing a project. You could be getting ready to launch something in order to release or reveal it at a later date. I kind of feel like this is one of those moments, you know, like where you spent all that time getting ready and then you give yourself that final sort of look in the mirror. You give yourself a once over to say, yeah, okay, I'm ready, or I either look good or actually no, I need to start again. This is that last minute appraisal kind of energy that I get from this card for you guys this week. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share. If you should sorry about the wind. If you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. For your actions and options this week, you've got the Page of Pentacles. So for a lot of you, this is literally a project that you've been working on patiently, diligently behind the scenes. For some of you, this is getting your website together for that new business. For others, this is some sort of study that you might have been working on, or a qualification that you've been working on so that you can make more money. This is you guys literally carving out or putting the final craft edges or touches to something that it's taken you a long time to get, or to move forward. Now, that being said, for some of you, this might be a week where you are a little bit more vocal. This might be a week where you're a little bit more vocal than you usually are, or maybe a bit more vehement in your vocality than usual, and it will be interesting to let's see what your communications card is. It's the Ace of Wands, right? So you're going to be very, very outspoken this week, and usually Libra seeks to balance the equation. And so this is the thing, everyone's like, oh, Librans are just nice, and they like things that are pretty, and they just want everyone to get along. If the equation is already unbalanced, you better believe they're going to give you the black and white of the situation to make sure that it can be balanced. If you haven't seen the weekly general, please check it out. I think you might get a lot out of it this week for that reason, because it was one of the things that came up. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia right now, the Ace of Wands with the Judgment card, this is about you. For a lot of you, it looks like you could be changing your major. For some of you, you could be changing a final project. For some of you, this might be launching into something that seems or feels a bit more fun to you. If you are studying at the moment as well, it looks like some of you may need to curb the enjoyment. All right, it looks like you could be having a lot of fun, which is great, but you're kind of missing the point that you're setting yourself up for a ton of work at a later date. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this is you really putting your passion and your energy out there. This is you putting your focus out there. Maybe you're sharing ideas with a boss. Maybe you are trying to do the rounds to get a team on board with an idea that you have. You've got the ability this week, actually, especially with this coupling of cards, to really rally, a bunch of people, or to get people fired up about something something in the workplace. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, same kind of energy, but this could be with a team. It could be with somebody that wants to collaborate with you, or someone that you would like to collaborate with. Because it is the Ace of Wands, this is you initiating this energy, right? The initiatory energy is in your court. This is you feeling and molding that power to kind of get people on board with things. Put pen to paper, start hashing out plans, start sending out emails, start making phone calls, sending messages, texts, all of that stuff. Get creative in your ideas and your endeavors this week. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working, I mean, aside from just being more vocal than usual, another way that this might show up for you is the need to have more fun, right? For some of you, this might literally just be a week where you're saying, actually, you know what? If I don't have work, I'm not working right now. Yes, finding work is a full-time job and all the rest of it. This is time for you to enjoy the time that you have, right? To enjoy it while things are relatively good around you as well. For your love and relations, you've got the Five of Swords. So relationship conversations could be a little bit tetchy this week. And a part of that is because where maybe you usually go along with what is, or where maybe you're a bit more acquisiable, this week you're not so much so. And so people are kind of, with a partner at least, is receiving you as a little bit more prickly than usual, or maybe just a bit more argumentative. And it's not for the sake of it. It's because you genuinely have an idea of how things should be going, and they don't seem to be going that way. When it comes to those of you that are single and looking, this is a lot of banter. This is some hard banter at that, right? You've got the Page of Pentacles, you've got the Ace of Wands, and you've got the Five of Swords. And with the Judgment card, this is somebody that you can jest and joke with to that point of extreme, right? Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's the mark of a good relationship. In all of the previous relationships that I've had, there has been good banter and good ability to go to the extreme with jokes, right? Like sometimes to say things to each other where people are like, did they just say that to their other half? Like, oh my gosh. That kind of humor is funny to me. This person that's coming in, this potential, may have this. Now, you yourself are a little bit more prickly than usual this week, so maybe that is attractive to them and vice versa. Just remember that this isn't your usual demeanor though, so it will be interesting to see how it develops beyond this week. For those of you, for your money and materials, you have the Page of Wands. So you've got a double hit of fiery initiatory energy. You've got two pages, which represents disquiet, and this week is not going to be quiet, all right? That much I can tell you, whether it's in love, whether it's at work, whether it's in studies, whether it's in the personal life in any way. This is going to be a week where things are loud, they're boisterous, the energy is heightened. The Page of Wands is great for money because it suggests a speeding up of money, and it also suggests invites, because pages can be messages, invites to activities that can enhance your earning potential this week, and quite massively so as well. For some of you, this could be an old employer or an old colleague getting in touch to say, look, do you want to do some part-time work? It's there if you want it. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Page of Wands is nice for health because it's kind of like a renewal of whatever you were doing to enhance your health in the beginning, right? The other thing is, when it comes to the home and environment, this is a lot of fun, a lot of enjoyment, a lot of laughter. This could just be a really great week. It is a little bit tetchy, we've already said. Now, for those of you that are ascendant Librans, but to a lesser degree, but still relevant, the sun and the moon, this full moon in Virgo is happening in your 12th house. This is the sign before yours, the last house, right? Which is all to do with the past. It's all to do with what is hidden, what you can't necessarily see. It's things coming to light. Now, I believe with a full moon in the 12th house, This is like going, because the 12th house is what I call the collective closet, right? So this is where you shove all of, it's not your 8th house, which is the taboos and the hang-ups and the stuff that you know about but are quite deeply rooted. The 12th house is the stuff beyond that. It's the stuff, it's like the silt that sits at the depths of the psyche, right? So in your personal closet, it's the stuff that's at the bottom of the closet, right? And this full moon is shining a spotlight into that space. This could be a profound moment of healing. It could be a powerful moment of awareness. It could be a judgment call when you say, wow, this thing has been a self-sabotaging tendency for me for the last 5 years. Now that I see it in this stark light, I'm ready to let go of it, especially because of everything else that's happening in the sky as well. We've got Jupiter and Neptune both in Pisces at the moment. The sun edging towards the last ends, you know, the last parts, last dregs, let's say, of Pisces. So this could be a really powerful moment for you. It could be very cathartic, very healing. It's in the sign of Virgo, so, you know, which is a sign of healing anyway. But this is also the energy of cleansing. So this full moon can be very cleansing to old hurts, old wounds, right? Old self-sabotaging tendencies can all be revealed to you, but you must be very gentle and very delicate with yourself when you see this stuff. It's not, oh, look, you know, there, I can see that now, and so now I'll just jump into it and start doing what I do. Take time to assimilate this energy, because after all, that's what Virgo does as well. It's about assimilation, all right? With that said, your full moon card is the Gate 57 and Intuition, which may very well be heightened at the moment because it's a full moon in one of the most psychic parts of the chart, which is the 12th house, right? 12th house is also dreams, sleep, right? All of the stuff that happens in the liminal space. So pay attention to your hunches and pay attention to your dreams this week as well. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.